My friends, I have to start this video by talking about UEFA's sanction
against Benfica for racist abuse by Benfica fans toward Vini Julio. UEFA fined Benfica 40,000 euros, about 241,800 reais, after analyzing footage from a Champions League match. During the match at Estádio da Luz in Portugal, Benfica fans made racist gestures against Vini Julio. UEFA also ordered the partial closure of Benfica's stadium, but the penalty will not be enforced. The Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Committee of the organization that handled the case ordered that 500 seats remain empty. The closure, however, will only be enforced if the club is a repeat offender. Next year. In the same match, Vini Julio accused Gianluca Prestiani, Benfica's forward, of calling him a monkey. The player was suspended for the return match against Real Madrid. That sealed it, right? When Real Madrid sealed their qualification for the Champions League round of 16, but that's all. Just that. And that's why I'm wearing the shirt. But it's about culture and identity, and it's the shirt. In tribute. The fight against racism. That fight seems endless. The guys keep covering it up, and the problem is with the confederations. That don't punish. That don't set an example. Set an example. Sad reality, huh? Come here, Vini, and bring Mbappé along with you. We're going to talk about this. Hey guys, greetings Red and Black fans. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're joining us, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and drop a like on the video. Right off the bat, I want to express my condolences here to Mr. Ronaldo Especial. Okay? A big Flamengo fan. A fanatic. Now he's by my grandfather's side. He's been a Flamengo member his whole life. A story full of love. He leaves behind 4 children and 9 grandchildren. All of them are Flamengo fans. Stay strong, family. Yeah. And we wish you lots of light on your journey. Well, we're here to remind you that you can secure your spot at Flamengo's games at Maracanã with Haroldo's Caravan. You can... Yeah, secure your spot with the ticket included and Haroldo's Caravan welcome service. Also, remember that you can attend Flamengo's games outside of Rio de Janeiro. Copa Libertadores, Copa do Brasil, Brasileirão. Always with my friends. The packages from Haroldo's Caravan. There are already packages for Cusco. There are a lot of interesting packages you can check out. It's in the pinned comment. I also want to remind you that, man, just look at that. You can get the goalkeeper jerseys here, look. Saruza, who's right here, look. From Zico. On YouTube shopping, right here, look. I always put the products here. You can take advantage of them on YouTube shopping, all right? So stay tuned. Keep in mind that when you buy the official products, you support the channel and Flamengo. Well, let's go. I have something very important to talk about regarding Bruno Henrique, right? Bruno Henrique went to the training field, right? He trained and was already taking part in the team practice in the scrimmage. Want to watch the footage Flamengo TV released? Check it out. Flamengo released footage of Tuesday's training and we're watching the players who weren't called up, right? Players who were on break, who had 2 days off. You can see the physical trainer working with the athletes there, right? Pacheco. And man, it's really good to see that Flamengo has some time now, right? We even talked about this earlier. Flamengo got some time now, right? With Leonardo Jardim.
A mid-season break, let's put it that way, this international break actually helps Flamengo a bit, even without the called-up players and Alexandro, who would have been called up but is injured. Leo Nanete, who joined the Brazilian national team, but he's from the under-20 team and all. So Flamengo basically has almost the entire squad, right, guys? Of course, there are also players called up for Uruguay. Gonzalo Plata as well, right? Ecuador's national team, but right now he's having trouble integrating, as Leo Jardim himself said, right? The coach mentioned it, about the difficulties he has, commitment and everything else.
There's even talk of a possible punishment, but Flamengo prefers to believe the player will be sold after the cup. We also have a player with Colombia, who's here in the United States as well, in Orlando. Jorge Carrascal is playing against Croatia, the team that will later face Brazil. And you're following Flamengo's training, right? Without the called-up players.
And also, we're showing you images. You can see Bruno Henrique there, man, right there, taking part in the activity. You see BH there? It's important for us to mention that, right?
Bruno Lemos mentioned earlier that he would take part in training today, and he's participating in the training on the field, right? That's very important. He should return and be available to coach Leonardo Jardim for the game against Red Bull Bragantino. One thing to note.
Bruno Henrique, in this new Flamengo system under Leonardo Jardim, should really take off, okay? I think Bruno Henrique is going to crush it.
We're going to have another great moment for Bruno Henrique, right? More of a goal scorer, more involved, playing in a position that really favors him.
So, we're going to have a more effective Bruno Henrique, right? And you're seeing footage there from the training session at Ninho do Urubu.
You'll also see, we also picked out some footage that Flamengo sent, aerial views, right? So we can get a look at how the team was being set up during training.
Check this out, man. What you're seeing is a finishing drill on the small goal. It's really important.
We've seen that Leonardo Jardim has been focusing on this type of training, right? Aiming to improve finishing, always trying to do as much as possible to get better at this skill, right? Look at that. You're seeing the footage that Flamengo released from above, man. It's really cool for us to see how Flamengo's training is going, right? A training session there. A bit more tactical, obviously, look on a smaller field, okay? They're doing a really nice drill there on the small goal.
Man, this is really good. This is really good. You can see Leonardo Jardim's work there, really trying to improve finishing. And you can tell that Flamengo's team is actually getting more shots off, right? In the recent matches we've seen, Flamengo has already been able to finish well, looking much more dangerous in the opponent's box. And we're watching these images from Flamengo's training that Flamengo TV released for us, okay? What do you guys think about Leonardo Jardim's work? Comments so we can discuss it too.
It's important for us to say that the players obviously are out, right? The ones who were called up, as we mentioned, but even so, the coach still got some extra time, right? A sort of mid-season break, so to speak, an interesting period for him to be able to adjust all of that, right? Work on his finishing, tactical play, defense, and attack. The guy is trying to do, look at that. Nice. And besides Bruno Henrique, you guys must have seen someone else there in training, right? Who did you notice there?
Tell me.
Eric Pulgar. What did I tell you about Eric Pulgar? What had he asked for? Not to be called up, to be withdrawn, not to participate? Because Chile isn't in the World Cup, guys, and this FIFA window doesn't mean much for Chile. And the player wanted to focus precisely on the tactical aspect, on training. Look at Eric Pulgar's commitment. This information came out in the Chilean press. The player, Eric Pulgar, is incredibly committed to Leonardo Jardim. He preferred to stay, right? Man, let me tell you about this guy. This one, he's an absolute legend, man.
He preferred to have this opportunity for uh, an off-season period, right? A longer period to train with no games since it's a FIFA window and to better understand the system, how to help within Leonardo Jardim's system. Look at Eric Pulgar's commitment to Flamengo. This guy needs to be renewed, adjusted.
A lifetime contract with Flamengo hasn't brought much luck. Instead, offer him a longer contract. Because this guy has already proven many times that he's Flamengo through and through.
And another one who's also taking advantage, right, of the international break to, get closer to Leonardo Jardim, to understand the system much better and make everything fit. Jorginho is going to be a very important piece. Another one as well, in fact, we're trying to get an interview with him, right, for Friday, and we'll let you know. It's Vital. Okay, you can see the training footage there. And this one here, right? Who's really coming along there? He'll keep getting more opportunities with coach Leonardo Jardim, who's really liking him, okay? The information I have is that he's really liking Samuel Lino, okay?
Samuel Lino is doing really well, okay? So, our coach Leonardo Jardim is taking advantage of the FIFA break to get the best out of the team, especially, okay?
Finishing. Samuel Lino, Cebolinha, players there who are part of the midfield and attack, finishing, okay? The training is intense, focused on finishing. Flamengo is looking to improve 100% when it comes to finishing, okay?
So, I'm really happy, man. Really happy with Leonardo Jardim's early work. God willing, it's going to work out really well. And it's very important for us to notice that there are committed players, right? Committed, like Eric Pulgar, okay? What do you think about that?
Flamengo needs a team of hard-working players, workhorses who are committed, like we have with Eric, who overcomes everything with his determination. Look, let me take advantage of the break between one piece of news and another to tell you that Geraldo's caravan has a package for Cusco and Flamengo. The trip to Peru includes airfare, 2 nights at the Indy, Rancosta, Del Sol hotels, breakfast, transportation to the game, and a ticket.
The price per person in a double room is 7,000 Ries, 584 down payment via Pix, 3,144 in 5 installments on the card, okay? Rio, Lima, Lima, Cusco, okay?
The flights are Cusco, Lima, Lima, Rio. You can check as well, okay?
On WhatsApp, which is here in the pinned comment, you can check it so you can also visit Machu Picchu. You can book a package with a little more time so you can visit Machu Picchu. It's really worth it, okay?
Let's go. I'm bringing you the news that Arrascaeta and Varela have met again.
Flamengo's friend, Matias Vinha, who is also called up for the Uruguay national team. So we had Varela, Arrascaeta, and Matias Vinha gathered together there. He who is at River Plate isn't there anymore.
There's a lot of daily contact with them. Now, during this FIFA break, he's spending time with the other 2 players who are at Flamengo. I'm bringing you this very important information, right? There are 2 pieces of information here, okay? One is about the transfer market. The forward Robinho Jr. was offered to Flamengo. A lot of people are saying that Flamengo tried to sign Robinho Jr., the forward from Santos. The name of the forward Robinho Jr. was offered behind the scenes to Flamengo, okay? Yeah, as reported by ESPN. We also checked with Flamengo and confirmed that the player's agents offered him to Flamengo, okay? So, at this moment, during the internal transfer window where transfers of players who played in the state championships are allowed, Flamengo is not expected to pursue the player, okay?
It's not that we can say it definitely won't happen, but they're not expected to pursue the player. We checked, and what they told us is that he was offered, okay?
But we shouldn't move forward. So that's the situation. He's a really good player, okay? I agree with you guys. People in the comments saying that. Yeah.
Our youth system comes from Santos and Laranjeiras. People are joking around, a lot of people are talking. I like him. Hurry up, Bap. This kid plays really well. If he strengthens the under-20 team, it's going to be great.
A thousand is 1,000 times better than other players who are out there. Everyone is talking about it, right?
Do the same as you did with the striker. Buy him and send him to the under 20 team. Well, man, you can't pay too much, right? But the kid is talented. The kid is talented. Everyone wants to see Robinho Jr., right?
He was offered, and Flamengo fans are asking for his signing. But Flamengo confirms it, okay?
That he really was offered by the agents, but they didn't pursue it, okay?
Yeah. Bringing this up here, this situation was pretty interesting, right?
GE was interviewing Mbappé and they asked, right? The reporter, right?
She did very well. She asked if Kylian Mbappé would play in the Libertadores in the future. She said the following, yeah. World Cup, Champions League, and Libertadores. Then he answered, who knows? We never know what can happen. I'll ask Vini if he'll let me go to a Flamengo game in the Copa Libertadores. Oh, Mbappé.
For God's sake, right?
If he lets you go to the game, he'll bring you and put you in a Flamengo jersey and say, go on the field, man. You'll put on the Mango jersey and play, right? And he started by saying, actually, here's the thing. Mbappé in the interview, you never know, right? Right? Who knows and all that? Who knows? We never know the future, right? He said it like that. Then he goes and says, he goes and kind of, you're easy to win over, huh, Mbappé? You're easy to win over. He changed the subject, right? I don't know if you noticed. He changed the subject because he was already kind of talking about playing for Flamengo. He was about to say he wanted to play for Flamengo. Then he changed the subject to say, no, I'll ask him. I'll see if he can take me, right? I'll ask Vinny if he'll let me go to a Flamengo game. He changed the direction of what he was saying a little bit, but we know that deep down, right? The fence is low. It's the guy who, so what's up? It's another one who wants to play Flamengo, right, man? Man, it's not uncommon, right? Nowadays, Flamengo is, and he knows, right, man? He saw how Flamengo played against PSG. He knows the quality of Flamengo. Mbappé knows the quality of Flamengo, right? Yeah. Look, let me share something important here. We were at the Brazilian national team's training session, here in Orlando, and the national team was playing, right?
Against France. Another meeting there. Mbappé is injured, right?
But we're bringing you this whole situation here about Brazil and France, then Brazil and Croatia. Road to 26, right? Path to the 2026 World Cup, which is the name given to these friendlies here. And what was being talked about today at Flamengo's training, talking to the people there, is this, okay? That 7 players were called up for the FIFA international window: Leo Pereira and Danilo, Varela, De La Cruz and Arrascaeta, Carrascal and Plata. Plata is in that situation we know about. But anyway,
Flamengo is working to have all the called-up players back for the match against Bragantino on April 2nd, Plata, right? He'll be in the mix too, but
yeah. Even with the expected return, each player will still undergo evaluation upon arriving in Brazil before being cleared for the match. The logistics of the flights are the responsibility of the national teams.
But the club is working to sort out the details and try to get Leo Pereira and Danilo back sooner, okay?
So Flamengo will try to speed things up. There's a plan, right? To speed up the arrival of Leo Pereira and Danilo, okay? Flamengo is prioritizing this, all right? The return of Leo Pereira and Danilo, we know about that too, right? Yeah, Varela, De La Cruz, and Arrascaeta. De La Cruz is also with the Uruguayan national team. He wasn't in the photo we showed, but he is also with the team. Yeah, there's also Carrascal with Colombia, but the priority, okay?
It's to speed up Leo Pereira and Danilo's return according to GE, okay?
It's important for us to say that the game is on the 2nd. So there's about 48 hours between the national team game and Flamengo's game. If it were on the 1st, it would be very difficult, right?
For the players to take the field, yeah.
Leo Pereira starting against France. Let's see if he plays against Croatia or if Marquinhos comes in. We'll find out, and then we'll be able to get a sense of what's going on. And what about Romário, huh?
Romário destroyed Casagrande.
Stop. Senator Romário talked about Casagrande.
Guys, every now and then Casagrande comes around and badmouths me. Out of nowhere, he never won anything important. He was just mediocre, to be honest. He still tries to get attention with my name. He doesn't understand anything about soccer, much less about politics. Jealousy really sucks. When he's quiet, he's more than a poet, he's a philosopher. Just so everyone knows, I'm on unpaid leave from the Senate without receiving a cent, and I've never neglected my responsibility as a senator. Romário destroyed Casão.
You didn't need to hear that, Casagrande? That's crazy.
And we have footage here, released by the CBF, of the Brazilian national team heading to Boston, where they're going to face the French national team, right? You can see there, Casimiro, the Brazilian national team players boarding the plane. Look there, the Flamengo player, Danilo, right? Who should play alongside Leo Pereira? Probably, right? Arlon Thilotti, everyone is boarding for Boston, where they'll face the French national team, right? A really tough opponent, right? And it's important to mention that both France and Croatia were teams that eliminated Brazil in recent World Cups, right?
Croatia in the last one and France in 2006.
Look, you guys are following along. Yeah, the whole delegation is boarding, right? And now you'll see the arrival in Boston and also the team's arrival at the hotel. Look, the players are disembarking, right? Ancelotti, it's already cold there, isn't it? It's different. I told you that while it's really hot in Florida, in Boston, it's already a bit cold. It's really different, right? So the players are arriving, and now you'll also follow along. The way to the hotel, right? The players are arriving at the hotel where they'll be staying before this match. Look, a lot of people are waiting for the players at the hotel, right? So the players are arriving to begin preparations for this game against France, right? Man, it's important. It's an interesting gauge, right? Facing France under this leadership, explain that. I know that if Brazil does well like this, it's already a...
We already have a rough idea of how the World Cup is going to be. Look, fans of Caminho...
Look, here you go.
It's amazing, right? This arrival is amazing. Brazil slept right there in the middle of the crowd, went into the middle of the crowd.
We have here now Leo Pereira, CBF TV, broadcasting Leo Pereira's interview, talking about this first chance, right, with the Brazilian national team. Take a look.
Look, I always told many people close to me it was a goal not just for me, but for my whole family to get here and represent a nation, right? The greatest national team in the world. So I'm really happy with this opportunity. I'm still getting familiar with my new teammates, but I've been made very welcome and I'm really happy, man. Really happy opportunity. I hope to contribute and to represent at the highest level. We know some of the best players in the world are here. So I come here to add to the team and give my best so that I can contribute as much as possible.
Talk about Flamengo, look at that.
Man, my time at Flamengo is really marked by my resilience and by myself, my family, and those who were closest to me. I won't stop believing in that resilience. I had a bad start at Flamengo, and right after...
It's cool that he said that.
From 2022 onward, I managed to be very consistent, and
He's one of the biggest nowadays.
that's one of the factors that puts me here today on the national team.
That's my story at Flamengo.
I've already won several titles, and that's something that really matters. It's very hard to be a champion, and
Even more so many times.
right, winning titles in your career is something that's really impressive. So I believe it's because of this consistency in the titles, because of what I've done over the last few seasons.
That's it. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and drop a like on the video. Thank you so much for watching. Greetings, João Bruno Negras. This is Flamengo. Thanks.